Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday to everyone out there. Welcome to the Chainmovers podcast. As usual, I'll be your host, Chad, and with me is my co-host, Lacey.
Hello.
No delay today. I figured it out.
What was wrong?
That's for me to know. Okay. No one else. So I'm a problem solver. That's what I do. It's what I do. Cold enough out there for you?
Yeah. Again? Yeah. Boing is right. Damn. Go from nice to cold.
Was it minus 44 this morning with the wind?
So awesome.
It could be worse.
It could?
Could be sleeping in a semi.
That's right.
Somewhere.
Or a tractor.
That'd be cold.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
So I'm not going to complain too much.
All right.
Not at all, actually. So lots to get to today. Some big side stories, big things happening everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere in the world.
Everywhere.
But let's start. I'm not even going to go through NBA standings tonight. No NHL standings. There hasn't been anything significant in that area.
Okay.
Just have stories tonight. We shouldn't be too long.
Okay.
Wednesday's normally short.
Yeah.
But we'll see how short it is.
Yeah. No, they never turn out short.
Could go for a while. First up, big story, rocking the NFL right now. Brian Flores suing the NFL and 3 individual teams, alleging racial discrimination in the head coach hiring process. What do you think of that?
I really hope that's not true.
Roger Goodell right now. This will be Roger Goodell's legacy.
Yeah. A shit show.
An absolute fucking circus. The way things are going, I mean, I'm all for diversity and inclusion, and I'm also all for hiring the right person for the job. I think Brian Flores has a case here. I legitimately do. And lo and behold, it's all got exposed because Bill Belichick doesn't know how to run an iPhone. Story goes, Brian Flores on his way to New York to interview for the Giants head coaching job. Bill Belichick, in the meantime, texts Flores, thinking it's Daboll, who got the job, saying, "Congratulations, I heard you're the man." And he must have been interviewing in New York and Buffalo.
Okay.
And so Flores texts him back, "You know something I don't?" He's like, "No, I just heard that you were the guy." And then a little while later, he texts him back and he's like, "Oh, my bad. I heard they hired Brian Daboll instead." Meanwhile, Flores hasn't even had his interview yet. So is New York skirting the Rooney Rule here? I think they are. He's also suing the Dolphins. Same thing. Now, not with the Dolphins, obviously. He was the head coach, but he's alleging the Dolphins paid him to lose games. Or offered to pay him to lose games. He declined. And he's suing the Broncos as well for, again, racial discrimination in the hiring process. He interviewed with the Broncos 3 years ago, I think, before he got the Miami job. Supposedly John Elway and the president of the, I don't know who it was, president of the team or whatever, showed up an hour late. You could tell they were hungover, never really serious about the whole interview process, right? So I think Brian Flores has a case here. And Brian Flores, I think, deserves a job in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Legitimately. Like, that's not a very good Miami team.
Right. Right.
Only coach this year to get fired with a winning record.
Yeah.
How do you deny it?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
If you're the Giants or the Broncos or whoever. Lo and behold, interestingly enough, the Broncos go up for sale today.
Oh.
Asking price of $4 billion.
Oh.
So. What do you think?
I really hope it's not true. I guess that's all I have to say about that.
Pretty hard. I see Flores' point.
Right.
I do.
Yeah.
And,
something weird going on there.
You think at this point in society we'd be past this bullshit, but I guess not. I think Brian Flores has more than one occasion proved himself fully capable of coaching an NFL team. I don't know. If you take money to lose games, Well, you'll never get hired again.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would think not.
Hugh Jackson coming out, former coach of the Browns, alleging he was paid to lose games. I hope so. He was 336-1 in Cleveland. So that would explain it. Like, he was just... The record was awful. Absolutely awful. So there really is no other explanation for it.
Yeah, no.
Where's Hugh Jackson? He's not coaching, I don't think.
Right.
Because, hey, guess what? You were 336-1.
Right.
So if you want me to tank, you better be paying me like $1 million a game. They were offering these guys $100,000 a game.
Yeah.
To tank.
How dumb.
I don't know. But rocking the NFL. Grumblings, African-American players may protest the Super Bowl in retaliation for this bullshit. So Roger Goodell is a real fucking mess on his hands.
Yeah.
But it's by his own accord.
Yeah.
So you reap what you sow. Mm-hmm. Typically.
Right.
So
yeah.
I'd like to see how they're going to weasel out of this one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, what if every African-American player that's supposed to play in the Super Bowl says, we are not playing until we have resolution to this lawsuit?
Right.
You think it's going to happen in 2 weeks? Mm-mm. So, well, we're only 12 days away.
Yeah.
11.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Could be big, big trouble.
Yep.
Big, big trouble. I mean, I don't know what the percentage of the league is, for nationality-wise or race-wise, if you want to call it, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's predominantly African Americans.
Yeah.
Without them, you have no league.
Right.
Or a league where the talent isn't as good as it could be.
Right.
So, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, Roger? You're fucked. If they walk away, you're done.
Yeah.
The NFL's done.
Yep.
And they could go start another league and destroy it.
Yes.
Food for thought. Maybe they will do
Imagine?
That would be crazy.
What a crazy world.
I didn't think anything could take down the NFL.
No.
But this could do it.
Yep.
And if it does, so be it.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs a reset. Seems like the whole fucking world needs a reset.
Yeah.
These days.
Yeah, it does.
So, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Interesting stuff coming out of the NFL.
Crazy.
Staying with the NFL, Lacey. Jim Harbaugh staying in Michigan. Interviewed with the Vikings. Jim Harbaugh wanted a Gruden-type deal. 10-year, $100 million.
Oh.
Minnesota said, I don't think so. Back to Michigan you go. So he will be the coach at University of Michigan. I don't know, until someone wants to pay him. It's not like he wasn't successful in the NFL.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, is it really that crazy? But who wants to spend $100 million on a coach?
Yeah. No, that seems...
They don't... That salary doesn't count against cap, but still.
But yeah, it's still money out of their pockets.
It's a lot of dough.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe... I don't know. The Vikings still don't have a coach, so... Maybe you should call Brian Flores.
I was just going to say, so wouldn't that be interesting?
Brian Flores said, he's like, I fully recognize that, I'm probably blackballing myself for the rest of my career. But he said it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it. And you got to respect that. You don't have to like the guy, but you got to respect that.
Yeah.
If he's willing to die on that sword, good on you.
Yeah.
Because if that is what's happening, if that's proven to be what's happening, it's enough.
Yeah.
It's enough already. It is enough. The world has had enough of this shit.
Yeah.
It's so absurd at this point that we're still gonna...
And sad. Like, it's actually sad.
Yeah, it's more sad than absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beyond ridiculous. But shifting gears here, Lace, MLB Lockout will most likely delay spring training. Two sides, they're not close yet.
They're still not.
Not very close at all. You pull up that live stream, keep it going during this show. I want to see if anything's going on.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going to look up something.
No.
Actually, I was going to make myself a note.
Don't look it up.
Okay.
Turn it down a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Just kind of keep your eye on it, see if anything's going on. The live stream I'm referring to, and we'll get into this in a bit, but it's the Coots border crossing. Protesters have locked it up. We'll get into it. Anyway, MLB Lockout will likely delay spring training. One of the sticking points that we had talked about on this show was the minimum salary, league minimum. The Players Association wanted $775,000 a year. The owners came up from $600 to $615. So they are a long ways apart on the league minimum as of now. I guess sides are moving, but they're still pretty far apart. So I would be very surprised if they hammered out a deal in a week. It's probably not going to happen. So expect that to be delayed. Shouldn't delay the season. Like, why would you delay spring training and then run full spring training?
Yeah.
You don't make any money off spring training. So makes no sense. But going back to the Vikings, though, they did not get Jim Harbaugh, but they did hire Rams offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell. But he can't officially sign until after the Super Bowl.
Right.
But he does have the job. I can't believe that, because, I mean, if you have a coach under contract, the other team has to approach you and ask for permission to talk to him.
Okay.
If I was going into the Super Bowl, the last thing I want my OC thinking about is him coaching his new team.
Right.
I find it very bizarre that the NFL allows that and lets that happen.
Yeah, it should be after.
Yeah. And it could be 10 seconds after the Super Bowl.
Sure.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
I would say no.
Yeah.
But if they hire someone else, then that guy's probably pissed at you, right?
No, but so why not all
but as a
the,
league,
yes. All the hiring.
Dead stop.
After the Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's very weird.
It is weird.
Like, you can't tell me he's not thinking about moving his family and...
Right.
You know,
very distracted.
I change my address. I got, you got to do all this shit, right? It has to happen. It's a lot of work.
Speaking of changing address, my stupid license expires this year. You notice that?
So you got to get the photo?
Yeah.
Means probably I do too.
Yeah. Anyway, just remind me.
But tomorrow?
What?
Tomorrow's your birthday.
Oh, yeah.
You have till the end of the month.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. But I don't even know why I looked today, but I was like, I should check that out because it's always your birthday month. Yeah, tomorrow's my birthday.
You want to share with everyone how old you're going to be?
No. You guys can guess if you want.
I wanted to put you on the spot.
No, I don't want to.
I thought you were going to just spew it.
No.
Anyway, the Vikings do have a new head coach. Lacey, we finally have a team name in Washington.
Yes. I heard this.
Washington Commanders. It's a team name. Is there anything this team can't fuck up? Okay, so they hadn't released the name.
Yeah, I heard that this was... I was going to actually add to your story if you didn't say this.
There's a fucking drone flying around. Well, they've changed the merch shop inside the stadium already. Well, what does the drone see? The new name of the team. It's like, fuck, you guys are dumb.
Just throw up a curtain quick, you know? How do you not think of this? I know I seen that too. I was like, oh, God.
You're fired.
Fuck, Washington. While you're at it, fix your stadium so you're not dumping sewage on the fans during the game. How about that one?
Yeah. There's a good
that place
idea.
probably needs like $200 million in rentals. Fucking Dan Snyder. Worst owner in the league.
Yeah.
Bar none. Like, it's not even close.
No.
No, it's not close at all.
No.
That's what time it is, Lacey. Time for the Freedom Convoy update. And wow, have we had developments. Major developments.
Wow.
So in Ottawa, we're in day 5, I believe.
I got in there Saturday.
Today is Wednesday, so 5 days. We're in day 5. Ottawa City Police. Yeah, Ottawa Police. Not letting supplies get into the trucks. We're going full Hugo Chavez here. Full dictatorship here now. So people are wheeling in diesel on carts full of jerry cans. Keep semis full. But on the bright side, There's a road hockey game in front of Parliament Hill.
Yeah.
What else? Truckers are giving away food to the homeless, cooking pizzas for the homeless, feeding them, shoveling the streets. Ottawa's never looked so fucking good.
No.
I'll tell you that much. So.
They actually asked for a donation, and there was okay, so a couple of the live videos that I seen, they did ask for it. They knew the snow was coming. So they asked for a donation of shovels. Like if someone, and I think it's mostly that someone could just get them the shovels, right? And so they did have people coming out and bringing, the one couple had a dozen shovels. And so that was pretty good. It was kind of neat actually, because they thank these people on live streams and stuff. And it so happened that the husband of this couple used to be an employee of the federal government. So that was interesting. Good on you, bud. And he had no problem saying his name, and then they asked what he did, and yeah, sure shit, an employee of the federal government. I can't remember what he said. He did say, but and then the other with the jerry cans, it was one of those videos again that I'm still, at least once a day, there's still a video that kind of chokes me up, and that was one.
But you cannot break their spirit.
No.
You cannot do it.
It's unbelievable.
They're saying that there's eggs being thrown at their trucks now, garbage being thrown at the trucks. Whatever.
They just clean it up.
The citizens of Ottawa are going full-blown psycho over this, and it is fucking hilarious. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I wish I would have put it on here, the video.
Oh my god.
Buddy losing his mind because he hasn't slept in 5 days. Apparently he hasn't heard of fucking earplugs. You should invest in a set. I think they're like 80 cents.
And
so
really, so some of the live streams, and they show it, like those people are proud that they can hear the horns, right? They're sleeping, so I don't know what this guy's problem is. Like, anyway, whatever.
I'll tell you. That's his problem.
Yeah, he's a big baby. Anyway, the video that did get me was when they were bringing the jerry cans, and there was a trucker. He obviously needed fuel. Like, they ended up coming with more jerry cans after the one I showed you, and they started dumping the fuel in his semi, and he had got out. Like, they just started putting it in, and he got out of the truck, and he just completely broke down. And he was when you have that typical trucker image in your head, that was him. He was, 70 years old, just kind of a rough looking man, and he completely broke down. It was, amazing.
But the propaganda machine in full effect, CBC, Global News, CTV, all just spewing hate, which is what they do best, right? And I mean, when you're paid by the liberals, you act like a liberal, and that's what they're doing. Terrorists. They're terrorists now. That's what they're calling them.
Sick.
Suggestion from the mayor of Ottawa: bring in the military. We're going to bring in the military on people playing road hockey and singing songs in front of Parliament. So that's how low this country has fallen, and it's frightening. It's frightening. The GoFundMe has been frozen for today. GoFundMe still playing games. I don't understand it.
I don't either.
Private company, but yet, because this was also Ottawa City Council suggestion, is that they should find some legal way. They hate it when they can't control someone else's money.
Yeah.
Boy, they hate that.
Yeah.
No control, and their lefties are going off the deep end.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, actually, to watch these fuckers melt down.
Yeah.
I love it.
And they have nothing other than, like you said, to spew hatred. That's all they're doing. It's unreal.
And like all the news is forcing the downtown businesses to be closed, and then someone will get on Twitter or whatever and say, I live downtown, and it took me maybe an extra 2 minutes to get to where I was going. Parking's never been better.
Yeah.
The stores that are open are busy. They're making money. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the problem is.
No.
Right? So it's pure propaganda flowing out, and it's flowing heavy.
Yeah.
Like heavy, because they're losing control.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Oh, they're walking into restaurants and having sit-down meals. The BC girl said, like, it's been a long time since they went into a restaurant and got to sit.
Yeah.
Like, this is, it's like Christmas for them, right? But yeah, restaurants are a little ways from Parliament. they're not getting into the ones, right downtown. So they're
Yeah.
having to go a couple blocks, but they're going into pubs.
The mall-
No vax, no mask, nothing.
The mall there supposedly closed down because it just couldn't be open. When you check on the ownership of who owns that mall, you'll figure out what's going on. So I'll leave that to you. Leave that in your mind for you.
You told me something that I didn't find anywhere that I like, and I watch a shit ton of videos.
The soup kitchen?
Yes, I'd like you to bring that up.
Okay, so here's another interesting story. So the soup kitchen, or the homeless shelter, whatever you want to call it, that supposedly was harassed and protesters were in there demanding food. Never a police report filed.
No.
No witnesses.
Someone was assaulted too, as well. There.
But guess what? Of their annual, what is their budget? $100 million? I'd have to verify. Or $10 million maybe? Like $8 million of it goes to salaries. And guess where the biggest chunk of the money comes from for that homeless shelter? Guess what? The Liberals. Did you see that one coming?
Sick. Just sick. It's so sick.
If you-
I did something today, though. Another good news story. I went grocery shopping with no mask on today.
Yeah, I mean, you only didn't get barely anything.
This was a big step for me.
Disappointing. Disappointing. Yeah, so it is very interesting times here in Canada. It's pathetic. It's so patriotic and you're happy, and then you see how the media and the governments
people.
are melting down, and now revenge is their number one priority, right? So yeah, let's freeze their GoFundMe. Let's legally interject. Let's bring in the military. Yeah, I'll tell you what. There's one bullet fired in that protest, this country will go into a civil war.
It will. 100% it will.
I guarantee it.
Yeah. 100%.
And there's no way. There's not enough RCMP and not enough military.
No.
Jeez,
for the people
in the world to cover the whole country.
Yeah.
It's too big.
Yeah.
It's too big. And shit would get out of hand real quick.
Canada is very. I have never seen Canada united like this. Like, even myself.
If you bring in the military on a protest like that, well, we're not even one step away from being China. It's too late. It's over. It's over, because now the right to protest is gone.
Right.
It's gone. And you want civil unrest? You'll get it, Trudeau. You will get it. I promise. So it would be just unreal. Shifting gears down, we kind of talked about it on Monday. The Coutts border crossing, so that is south of Lethbridge. There's been a standoff there between farmers, truckers, civilians. I'm going to start using military lingo because that's the route we're going. And the RCMP, right? It's no city police, just RCMP.
Just RCMP, I believe.
Yeah. So that one has approached day 3 or 4. Today's day 4, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Of this one. Negotiations went nowhere. Finally, they negotiated down to, well, let's sum out in exchange for getting supplies in.
Because they weren't letting any supplies in.
Right. So it's minus 45 here. You need fuel. You need heat, right?
And food.
And food. Food's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Water.
allegedly, the RCMP fucked them over, let people out, but didn't let any supplies in. So at the discretion of Jason Kenney, mind you. So
I did. So actually, since you've told me to turn it on, I seen a car go in. So I don't have the sound on, so I didn't hear what he said, but I did see a car turn in.
So as it sits right now, it's so funny how the RCMP or whoever think they're going to win this. Yeah. You're not. There's too many. So it's now nuts. The RCMP are like, oh, well, we'll block everybody in.
Right.
No problem. There's another blockade on the other side, Now the cops can't get out.
It's just like, it's crazy.
But I promise you, Alberta, you're going to run out of police.
Yo, absolutely you will.
There's not
Keep
enough.
Going. No, keep going, boys.
You're doing more harm than good at this point. And the boys weren't ready to stand down at all.
No.
This is the line in the sand. Mandates done.
Yeah.
And they had supposedly struck a deal. Rural Alberta mandates.
Yes.
That not the cities.
No.
Which, who cares? I mean, half the people in the cities love the government and want these mandates.
Yeah,
so keep
weird.
Go for it. Let the rest of us live our lives. They agreed.
They were going to get together.
The MPs held the MPs for the UCP supposedly held a emergency meeting because they're so busy doing other shit, I'm sure. That sounded pretty fair.
Yeah.
And then Jason Kenney slides in the back door and fucks him over. So now you've burnt that bridge. Mm-hmm. Now there's no negotiating because you fucked him over once already. Mm-hmm. Now supposedly Crow's Nest Pass highway is shut down. Mm-hmm. Lethbridge is starting to plug up. Mm-hmm. And rumor has it there's another convoy on their way to Edmonton.
Breaking news, right before I come in here, they're headed to the Alberta-Saskatchewan border tonight. There's a convoy headed there.
To the U.S., like that crossing, or just Alberta-Sask?
They said Alberta-Sask.
I don't know what that's going to do.
I don't really know either.
I guess wherever you block a highway, it's going to create a problem. Mm-hmm. But, yeah. So, I mean, and as, legitimately, these guys start calling out for help, you're going to have people from as far north as where I live going down there. Mm-hmm. Because people have had it, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I grew up in a farming community. Best people you'll ever find.
Yeah.
Don't piss them off, though.
Nope.
Pretty easy concept.
It really is.
Really. But the government just can't quit meddling in everybody's business.
No.
They just can't.
And it is, someone had commented, and I don't know, like they said we, so I assume they're a part of it. We're headed your way from Fort Mac. That is a long-ass drive.
Yeah, that'd be 10, 12 hours, I'd say, down to Coots from Fort Mac. Well, Edmonton to Fort Mac's what? 4 hours?
I was going to say 5. But yeah, no, probably 4.
And then Edmonton to Coots, holy, yeah, because Edmonton to Calgary is another 2.
Yeah.
Calgary to Coots would be at least another 2, 3. 3.
At least. Well,
Calgary to Lethbridge is probably 2.
Yeah.
And then it's another 100K south of there, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, you're looking at 10 and 12 hours, right? But if you got 300-400 guys coming, that makes a big difference. So,
and it's not little. Like the people that they have there now it's not a small group of people. I don't know what did they say that they figured they let in last night, or they went in last
50
night.
or 70 more piled in.
Yeah, and they are lined up on the highway as far as you can see. It's just solid lights again. So
well done, RCMP. You just don't get it, do ya? You just don't understand.
And the weird part to me is that, like, I've seen interviews with RCMP, and mostly in Ottawa. I haven't seen any here. Like, I've heard them talking to the guys here, and they seem fine.
Yeah.
But mostly in Ottawa, and they're more than willing to talk. So one guy went up and just asked, how his day was going. Oh, really good. And asked for his name and badge number. And so the guy told him, the RCMP told him, or police. And then he said, could you tell me your experience down here so far? He said, everyone has been super.
Yeah, it's the same thing in Ottawa. Every police officer that I see talked to or interviewed or whatever there, same thing.
Yeah.
There's no problems, right?
No, and the weird thing though is that Coots, they assaulted the police officers there,
which was a lie.
Right.
And they crashed through the police, damaging cruisers, which was a lie. It's amazing how politicians, the media, still think they can get away with all this lying when people live stream everything, and especially in a situation like this. There's 1,000 cameras on it right now. So
and the people have actually said it looks ridiculous here because
I would
all of
imagine.
us are just live streaming each other.
Yeah.
That's all that's happening is everyone's walking around live streaming each other.
Yeah.
Which is good. There's no way something's going down without being caught on video.
Yeah, you would think not, and
Like-
I hope not.
Yeah, me too.
For both sides.
Yep, absolutely.
For both sides.
Yeah.
You definitely do not want to see someone assaulting a police officer.
No.
That'll land you in the clink real quick. And if the police start assaulting civilians, we have a problem. So,
And you know,
for both ways, and then there's nothing lost in translation.
no, exactly.
You can see what happened. So that's the way it's got to be.
To me, it's scary though. Thinking back to before the times of social media.
What people got away with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that. Looking back, that's scary in my head.
Those were the heydays for governments
Oh.
to grease money and grease palms
My
and
goodness.
corruption and you name it. And they still think maybe they still live in those days. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
no. Grumbling's Jason Kenney will be ousted soon.
Soon.
I can't see him surviving a leadership review, and I can't see him even making it to the leadership review. It's over.
Yeah.
It's done. You burnt your bridge. You had an opportunity to discuss things with these guys, and you chose the chicken shit coward way, which is no surprise. I mean, he's a politician. He's a career politician. Never worked a fucking day in his life. Just like all of these guys. So, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, they're all down there. More support's on the way. But now the cops can't run away.
Nope.
Because they've hemmed themselves in. So what do you do now?
I don't know. Like
Because
it's
the
just
last time the truckers trusted you, you fucked them over. So now if you want to get out of here, you think they're going to move for you? No.
No.
Not going to happen. And I don't blame them. Once bitten, twice shy. So shame on me, right? Fool me once, shame on me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's really, it's crazy. I've never seen Canada like this.
No.
But the people have had enough, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
It's beyond absurd already at this point. History is being made, whether you like it or not, whether you're on the side, it don't matter whose side you're on. History is being made.
Yeah.
This will go down in history. It's bad when Canadians are pissed off. That's probably the most common
Yeah.
thread I see out there is like, fuck, like Canada doesn't do this. Well, we do now.
And
So-
that video that you showed me, and it was an American that posted that and said,
That old boy.
Yeah, he said, no, the one with, they're calling the military on these people.
Oh yeah.
And it was a
They were-
video from Ottawa. They were actually holding hands
Singing "We Are the World."
and dancing in a circle. That's what you're calling the military on?
And the
Like,
comment was they're called the military, and then the laughing emoji. Like what kind of fucking banana republic do we live in here? It's flying off the rails.
Oh.
And I
don't think...
I'm glad I'm on the right side. That's
Me
all
too.
I'm gonna say.
Me too.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So I've never. You know what? With the data that's coming out on, I don't give a shit where anyone stands on if you're vaxxed, unvaxxed, whatever. The old saying, you're only one vaccination away from being unvaxxed. But how much longer are people going to tolerate double vax people, in the words of Justin Trudeau? Because double vax people seem to be taking up the most room in the hospital, most room in the ICUs. They get sicker. Yeah, so how much longer are we going to tolerate them, Justin? In your words, it even feels wrong saying it now.
I know.
It's so
It does.
fucked. The hatred
Yeah.
is it. I can't even. I could barely make myself say that because it feels so wrong.
Right. And I was going to say, even from
Like
my
he's
last
off his
life-
rocker.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah.
He's lost it.
I don't think he ever... There's always been something...
He's gone like full Mussolini here. Like,
Yeah. He's a nut job.
He's fucked.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's really weird in this country that who loses their leader, but the opposition. I mean,
Right.
dipshit's still okay. But But the Conservatives do have a new leader, one that hopefully is an fence sitter, like Aaron O'Toole was. He was horrible. I was still pulling for Leslyn Lewis. This is the interim leader.
Yes.
So they have to run. Candace Bergen is the new interim leader for the Conservatives. If you don't live in Canada, you don't give a shit about this probably. But yeah, she's the new interim leader of the Conservative Party. I'm still pulling for Leslyn Lewis. It sounds like Pierre Poilievre might be the guy. I don't think he wants it, honestly. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
I'd be okay with him though too.
But yeah, how does dipshit keep his job?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
It's unbelievable.
It is.
But
It's
the
so
propaganda machine is in full effect.
Yeah.
And yeah, those hardcore libs, they'll defend that guy, which
It's
is
so
a fucked up part.
crazy.
Like, he is getting shredded online by
everyone.
world leaders,
Yeah.
celebrities. Like, it's hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
What a chicken shit. Just
Like, does he just live in a
unbelievable.
hole? Like, how do you... Like, he must be aware of these things, no?
Yeah, but
Like, so how do you still stand up for yourself?
he's a fucking lunatic.
It's just bizarre to me.
That's that whole party, though. They believe they're better than you and that they're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
This is right because we say so. That's how they think. It's fucking unbelievable.
It shocked me that they, at one point, said in their little, whatever, I don't know what it's called, you know, we want the Conservatives to get on our side and join with us and let the people know they've been heard. They've been heard. Nobody has went out there. Nobody has talked to any of these people. What do you mean they've been heard? Their horns have been heard. That's it. No one has actually talked to them.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to break it open or, when I know when the protests will end. It's when the mandates are lifted, but old Trudeau, I don't think is going to do it. So
because that would be admitting he's
where
wrong.
Do we end? Where does it end, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've reached out to my MPs, my federal and my provincial MP, with no response. I haven't reached out to my federal one. That's a lie. But I have reached out to my provincial one with no response. So I'll be following up with a phone call tomorrow and reaching out to my federal one tomorrow because I'm not able to be in Coots or in Ottawa. So do your part here, right? Just how hard is it?
Send an email. Make a phone call.
Make a phone call.
Yeah.
Have an uncomfortable conversation. Just
and
do
it's
it.
not even, like you kind of said on Monday, ask the hard questions. It's not even the hard questions that need to be asked right now, even.
Yeah, it's the basic
It's
questions.
the basic ones.
Yeah. Hard for them, I guess. Let's put it that way.
It is the most basic questions to me that need to be answered. And my big question, I don't understand why the wait.
March 1. Someone else, Sweden or someone's waiting till March 1 too. There's something going on there. There's something happening with that day, at the end of February, beginning of March. One other country's waiting till March 1st too, and I'm not sure what the relevance is behind that. I'm looking. Trust me, I'm looking. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
I just don't understand why there has to be. I don't even. Yeah,
You
I don't
look
know why
at
there has to be a date.
Denmark.
Yeah,
And it's
just
like,
whoop,
we're done.
done.
It's enough already.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe they could see the writing on the wall. They're like, we're not going through this.
Right.
What Canada's going through.
Right. Maybe they were smart.
Yeah, I don't know. But there's something going on there.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, yeah, everyone's applauding Scott Moe and whatever else. Well, you know
He
what?
hasn't done it yet.
It's lip service. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And he's a politician, so I don't trust him.
Right.
And it's not just because it's Scott Moe. It's because he's a politician. I don't give a shit who it was. Until it's signed off on and done, he hasn't done shit.
No, you live
Other
in
than
isolation.
implement these mandates. So, yeah. I just can't encourage you enough. If you feel that what's happening, what has happened and what is happening and what is continued to happen is wrong, then do something about it. Don't sit there. It's enough already. And it has to end at some point. It has to.
Yep.
That's the way it's got to be. So, lots of politics on this show since this has started.
it has consumed, and it should consume our lives.
Pretty big deal here.
It is our freedoms.
Yeah. If you're not worried, I can't help you. So
I think, and I actually said to you today, and maybe that's what I'll ask for my birthday, the road trip. I think more noise needs to be made in Regina again. Like you said, Scott Moe, it's lip service.
For sure. Yeah.
So obviously our last one wasn't good enough.
Like I said, I used to like Scott Moe. I don't fucking trust him as far as I could throw him now. I used to think he was okay. Not anymore.
Yeah.
No.
So.
And how sad is it that people are applauding this? You let the government control your life to that degree. It's you don't even have to look deep. Look at the big. Take a step back. And now we're cheering for him. This is the same guy. Don't forget that it was, 12 to 16 months ago it said no more Mr. Nice Guy. We're done with people that refuse to get vaccinated. And Scott pulled his tough guy card on everybody. Remember that? Don't forget. Quit having such a short memory. Because otherwise bullshit like this will continue to happen. Scott Moe is not your friend and he's not your hero. And neither is Jason Kenney and neither is Justin Trudeau. And neither was Aaron O'Toole. Stop already. These guys don't give a shit about anyone but themselves. Don't kid yourself. So it's time the people bind together and do something about it. And that's what you're seeing. So congratulations to Canadian citizens with the exception of politicians. Oh.
Now there's a delay?
Why? Stupid. Anyway. On that note, we will be back. We're going to talk a little bit NBA, a little bit NHL. Not a lot left of the show, but we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Do you love sports? Sick of all the same mainstream sports shows? Then join us on the Chainmovers podcast. We will give you real takes without all the mainstream BS. Catch us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on YouTube Live or wherever you get your podcast content. Again, that's the Chainmovers podcast. Join us.
I love how excited they are to have us back.
Always after the commercial.
Yeah.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Politics aside, no more politics for today. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
Done. Finished with that for the day. Let's dive into the NBA, Lacey. Like I told you at the top of the show, I am not going through the standings today. There hasn't been any significant movements in the standings, so I'm not even going to go through it. But there's a couple stories in the NBA that we do need to touch on. Lakers played tonight. They're without LeBron James. LeBron James will miss his third straight game with swelling in his knee. Never had a reported injury, but this is his third game he's going to miss. The Lakers are bad. They're infinitely worse without LeBron James on the floor. LeBron James, on any given night, will make up a third of their offense. I think he's averaging like 28 a game. He's second in the league in scoring.
Yeah.
In his 19th year.
That's nuts.
Supposedly, LA is not a buyer or a seller come the trade deadline. They think this team is actually going to go somewhere. Which is, yeah, I guess. Well, if you're not going to make any moves, you're obviously confident in the guys you got. Holy, delusional much?
That's odd.
That's a bad team.
That's so weird.
That's a really bad team. I've watched a few Lakers games this year, and without LeBron on the floor, holy, love him or hate him, he is easily the best player on that team at age 37, and it's not even close.
Right.
And what happened to Anthony Davis? I remember watching Anthony Davis playing with the Pelicans and single-handedly defeating the Portland Trailblazers in the first round of the Western playoffs. Single-handedly. Sweeping them. They swept them. Where the fuck did that guy go? AD was like top 3 in the league for a while, and he wasn't number 3. So he was 1 or 2.
Right.
Holy, I know he's made of glass now, but even when he's in the game he did come back from injury and then left with injury in the same game. He left with that wrist injury. In the first half, he had like 30 points, 8 boards, 2 blocks, 2 steals. He was just crushing it, right? And that was like, okay, the old AD, right? It's like, holy shit, he's back. No.
Just kidding.
I don't get why the guy's hurt all the time, but even when he's healthy, he's not the same guy he was. Yeah. And I mean, that sucks for LA. You sell the farm to get this guy, and it's not what you ordered, right? So, and you can't send him back, unfortunately. But yeah, and I mean, Russell Westbrook is Russell Westbrook. I mean, he's played well. He's played fucking awful. I don't know. That team, they'll be in the play-in. There's no way they're finishing top 6. No way. Like, I give the Raptors a better shot in the East to be in the top 6 than I give the Lakers to be in the top 6 in the West.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Raptors have been playing well. Yeah, it's just wild. But that's a big story when you're missing a guy like LeBron James, especially on a team that's as poor as the Lakers are.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the Bulls missing MJ.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have LeBron James on your team, you have a chance to win every night. Mm-hmm. That's just the way it is, right? One guy can make that kind of difference in a basketball game, right?
Yeah.
Just when you're that dominant, yeah. Look at what he did with some of those Cleveland rosters. Now, he was a lot younger then, mind you, but he was unreal.
Yeah.
Like, who was his next best guy? Anderson Varejao? A lot of you probably never even heard that name before.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he was like, it was unreal what the dude accomplished, but they haven't gave any details on it. Frank Vogel just saying, as long as the knee's swollen, he's not playing. So, again, nothing leading up to it saying what caused it, but the Lakers in big trouble without LBJ. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, but yeah. Moving over, Lacey, Ben Simmons.
This fucking guy. Oh my god. It's painful.
Okay, so now we're finally getting to the bottom of Ben's hissy fit.
Okay.
Still mad at Joel Embiid because Embiid blamed him for the loss last year against Atlanta in the playoffs. That's why he doesn't want to play in Philly anymore.
For real?
Yeah, so instead of talking it out with Joel and being a fucking man about things,
my.
let's lie about mental illness, not show up, not work out with the team. He's working out 20 minutes from the team facility. This guy's pathetic. This guy's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe that teams are pursuing him.
No.
I can't believe it. Mm-mm. But it must be like a drug for these teams and think, I can change him.
Maybe that's what it is, you know?
Look at AB.
I want to fix you.
Same thing.
I want to fix you.
Like he's fucked. Super talented, but fucked up. Evander Kane. Nothing but off-ice issues.
Right.
Ben Simmons. Like, I think what Ben Simmons has done to this point is just disgusting.
Yeah.
Faking a mental illness so you don't have to play on the team. I think that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
I can't believe, well, we talked about it Monday or maybe last week. Why is nobody talking about this?
Yes.
This is fucking bizarre.
Yeah, it is.
It's unreal. But yeah, he's still angry at Joel. I think Joel was right calling him out. Do you remember the play in question where he was wide open under the basket and couldn't even lay it in? He passed it.
I don't remember, but that shouldn't surprise you.
And the series went downhill from there because
Really?
nobody could believe what the fuck they were seeing. When you're 6'10" and pass up a wide open layup under the basket, you pass it instead. There's no defender around him.
Oh boy.
But everyone knows he can't score. Defensively, great player.
Oh, okay.
Motherfucker can't score. He puts in, all he does is drive the lane, right?
Oh, okay.
Which works for a while.
Right.
But it's no different than a running back in the NFL.
Right.
Those guys are big and strong, and you can't do it for 15 years.
No.
You can't. You'll end up like AD.
Right.
Hurt all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Those guys are big, and they're physical. You want to take the lane? Go for it. But you're going to pay the price physically.
Yes. And, like, those guys are hitting the floor quite often. And,
A lot.
And I remember, this is weird, but my grade 6 teacher was a very, very tall man. And I don't know what we were talking about, but, like, I remember in grade 6, and we're talking, he's like, do you realize how much further I fall than you? I'm like, I've always thought about that now.
Imagine
like, when
being
you see a tall man fall, that's a long ways they're falling.
Imagine being like 7 feet tall.
No.
And like
Even just
full
falling
sprint,
on your ass.
Full sprint and hitting the hardwood.
Yeah.
On your back, on your shoulder, whatever. That's the best place you can fall.
Right.
But yeah.
I always think of that when I see them falling. I'm like, they're falling from a long ways up there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That would hurt.
So.
It hurts me, and I'm short.
And Lacey, I got one trivia question for you, and then we'll move over. Well, we're almost done.
Okay.
If you had to take a guess today, who would you say in the NBA leads the league in points in the paint?
Oh my God, what? Ja. Am I right?
Ja Morant. Ja Morant leads the NBA in points in the paint. He's 6'3".